Hey, this is Germany's best kept secret, Laurie, and you're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
This is Miss Hannah, the one and only from the 419, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Quack, quack. This is Rob Killjoy of the Ugly Ducklings, and you're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Quack.
Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, bringing you the latest exclusive breaking news, previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, everything in between every Saturday, and interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox. Sponsored by Rogue Energy. Use promo code WrestlingWithE for 10% off your next purchase. I am, of course, your host, James J. Alongside Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Just, who are not here tonight. But it is still a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with, from ponds unknown, weighing an undisclosed amount of rubber duckies, trained by the master strategist, time traveler extraordinaire, 1/4 of the Ugly Ducklings, Rob Killjoy.
Quack, quack, quack. How's it going, man? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, Rob. It's a pleasure having you on. Could you tell us what you got coming up next?
Oh, well, I'm actually in New Jersey tomorrow for Catalyst Wrestling. Myself and the Infinite Man, Tim, formerly Timmy Lou Retton, we're teaming up. We have a shot at Hot Boys International for the Catalyst Tag Team Championships in Jersey City, New Jersey tomorrow night. Oh, well, when we're recording this, it's tomorrow night. And then I'm in Tennessee Saturday. I've got a lot of cool things coming up. So.
Well, we're looking forward to all of that. And where can we find you on social media and merchandise?
Social media. You can find us at the Ugly Ducklings on Facebook. You can find at Three Mother Duckers on Twitter and Instagram. At I'm Rob Killjoy on Twitter. You could also go follow Colby and Coach Mikey, and Lance doesn't have Twitter, but you could also find our merchandise on any of those sites, or you can go to stormcustomtees.com. That's stormcustomtees.com, because most of our shirts are up on that site for ordering if you don't see us in person. But I would prefer cash up front, face to face.
I think we all prefer cash up front, don't we?
Of course.
And of course, you don't even have to look for the links. All the links will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox.
Quack, quack.
Quack, quack. So, you've wrestled for more promotions than probably anybody else on the show. Can you tell us what is the driving force behind wrestling for so many promotions, rather than sticking to maybe one or two home promotions?
Well, I think it's passion. I want to wrestle in front of as many crowds as possible, in front of all the people I can. And I mean, just a lot of shows, it's hard to stay on one show that runs once a month when they won't even give you dates sometimes until a couple weeks out. So that could be difficult, but I just try to stay booked up. I try to book myself ahead of time so I don't have openings in the schedule. I don't like blank dates. I don't take days off. So
that's pretty cool. Now, speaking of, taking time off, maybe you was kind of maybe forced off for a while there. Could you tell us about wrestling in the pandemic era of pro wrestling in front of no crowd and kind of coming back to it now?
Okay, well, a couple things. First, I was actually only off about 6 weeks total.
Oh wow!
Because I'm only a few hours from Tennessee, and it's the Wild West up there. So once I know some shows that started kind of running back, then I started getting a booking a weekend, just started working again. So I was only off like 6 weeks, but that still is longer than I've ever been off before, because I don't take weekends off, I don't take days off, I don't volunteer to not have shows at all. That's just not my style. But And as I've told people before, it's like if you're driven by passion, the wrestling comes easy. So whether there's no fans there, there's fans there, whatever. Of course, we want fans there, but it doesn't stop me from wrestling if they're not there. And I tell everybody who thinks it's odd to be wrestling on these no fans tapings, like, listen, I've wrestled on a bunch of shows that expected fans to show up and they didn't. So I'll be fine. I know what I'm expecting, and my pay doesn't change. So.
And you do have a lot of passion for this business. Where does that come from?
I'm really not sure. It's the only thing I care about. I don't get excited about anything else. If I do, I'm just like, oh, cool, that's exciting. I'm excited. But wrestling is the only thing where I'm getting amped up and it draws emotion out of me. I can't explain it. I don't have a first memory of wrestling. It's just always been this way. I wore my parents out on it. They just, it's all I cared about. It's all I obsessed over it since I was a child.
You never had that drop off moment where it was like
No. I've never stopped watching it. I've never taken time off from doing it. I've never I can miss Raw tonight. It's fine. No, I'm going to watch that Raw, even if it's got to be the next day on tape or something. I'm not going to. I don't miss out. I don't not watch wrestling. I've never taken a break from it. I've never fallen off. It came back. I've been watching nonstop my whole life. I've been wrestling nonstop since I was 17. That's 17 years now.
That's incredible. And I mean, WWE has definitely given us a lot of reasons to drop off from time to time, and just stick with it. But
the wrestling's still there. There's still something there, though.
Yes.
Because not everybody likes everything, and that's fine. But this episode of Raw may suck, but hey, I had that one match, or hey, I had that one cool thing, or just something.
Oh,
there's something.
Absolutely.
There's still wrestling involved. That's why I watch anything involving wrestling. That's why I watch Glow. That's why That's why if it has wrestling involved, it was my favorite episode of whatever. Whether it's Family Matters or Mama's Family, whatever. Whenever there was a wrestling episode, that's the one I was watching.
You know what? Same here. Now, can you tell us about your partners in the Ugly Ducklings? Lance Lude, Kobe Carino, Coach Mikey. How did you meet, and what is your relationship with them?
Well, okay, so I mean, obviously they're some of my closest friends. So I mean, we've just spent so much time together in cars, on the road, in rings, at houses, wherever, hotels, B&Bs, airplanes. Just we've been around each other a lot. But funny story, Lance and I actually met just a few months after we both started, back in February of 2005 or so. But he was under a mask as Ultra Dragon. We were in some 8-man tag together, and I remember him because we actually understood each other. Like, he was explaining this move to me. I was like, oh yeah, I know that move. I'm not just one of these old guys who doesn't want to do anything. It's like, oh no, I watch wrestling. I'm familiar with what you're saying to me. But then I ran across him years later, and he explained to me, you know me, blah, blah, blah. He's Ultra Dragon. I was like, oh, okay, that's crazy. And we were starting out as the juniors division in PWX, that we were trying to showcase the juniors division, and they put us in a tag team match once. But Lance and I really enjoyed it, and we thought we had good chemistry, so we thought, okay, well, maybe we should start teaming up more. And then we started teaming up a little more, and then I told the announcers, like, hey, nobody said okay to this because the Ugly Ducklings. I think it'll be funny. Just because it just came to me. I thought it was funny because we look like this, And it just caught on, and the crowd really liked it. And then Colby was just thrown in to say, oh, you're going to do a 6-man tag team with Colby. And we had only met Colby a few times. We were close with Steve, Steve Carino, Colby's dad. And we'd only met Colby a few times, but we had great chemistry with him and just enjoyed it. So we're like, I feel like we've got something. Coach Mikey, he is from Georgia, and I met him on some shows I was doing in Georgia. This show called Flatline Wrestling. It's no longer running, but that's where I met him, and I was a part of his stable called the Galeno family. Now, talk about Mike. Mikey Galino is a completely different character than Coach Mikey. Coach Mikey is more how he really is, but you would not think that if you just saw his promos as Mikey Galino. He was just a very serious mob boss type villain. And it was very, very interesting. But when Flatline shut down, I I just told him, hey, you should definitely come to like PWX, check it out. You should come down here with me, And eventually we got him in, and then it's just everything just clicked. Everything just fell together, and everything just took off. And we just started going further and further and more and more.
And, one thing that's really important that we've discussed on the show before is entrance music. Not a lot of independent wrestlers have custom-made entrance music. The Ugly Ducklings do. Could you tell us how that came about?
Not only do we have custom entrance music, we have the absolute best custom entrance music. Lance was friends with the guy named Eddie Ruger, Ruger, and he is a fantastic rapper. And I'd never met him before. I'd never heard of him, but Lance introduced me to him and then said, hey, what do you think getting our entrance music done? And he put together something amazing for us. Like, I couldn't have asked for it to be any better. And it's a great song.
Oh,
even
absolutely.
If it wasn't our entrance music.
I was just listening to it. I've been listening to it for quite some time now. It's very catchy.
It's a hot track, as the kids say. It's a banger, certified.
It is definitely that. And it definitely, kind of ties things together. You know who's coming out to that theme. You know what I mean?
Exactly. He asked us what we wanted out of it, and my only contribution was I wanted to be instantly recognizable after you hear it a time or two. Like, say, after a couple seconds, it's us.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like the glass shattering or the bell tolling for Undertaker.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, you are part of this tag team, but you do singles wrestling as well. Are you a singles wrestler that does tag team, or a tag team wrestler that does singles?
I'm a wrestler who does it all.
That
you put me in multi-man matches, tag team matches, multi-tag matches, trios matches, atomicos matches, 8-man tags, 6-man tags, scramble matches, battle royals. I've been in all of them. So I just want to do whatever. Like I said, I don't like days off. Coach Mikey's best friend from kindergarten or whatever that he hasn't seen in 30 years is getting married, so he's got to go to that. So he can't make this booking. Oh, well, Lance has an anniversary with his wife or something, so he can't make this booking. Well, I'm not going to not wrestle. I still need to go make my shows because that's what I want to do. That's what I do for fun. So when other people have family obligations, I don't stop wrestling. So I've still done singles even when we're teaming.
That is the best answer we've gotten for that question.
And it is the correct answer too. So
it is the correct answer. Now, can you tell us about the Ducks Fly Together show?
Man, that was something special. Ducks Fly Together. That's the name of it. Myself and Colby Carino put it on together. And it was a benefit show because my partner, Lance Lude, right now, he's suffering from colon cancer. And the show is still up on IWTV. So anybody can still go watch the show on IWTV. It's a great show. And also it's still got the donation link on it. So donations still can happen. Yeah, it's just, we had a lot of great first time matches. We had a lot of great first time matches. We had a lot of just overwhelming support. So many people wanted to volunteer their time. So many fans wanted to come out and pay their money, pay their respect to Lance. We raised over $5,000 for him that night.
That's incredible.
It was overwhelming. Just the amount of support, people donating, wrestlers like sending their wrestlers out there, or people just wanting to volunteer their time. I mean, because no one got paid except Lance. I mean, like all of our merch money, everything from that show went to Lance. Like the JM Gallo, he was cool to let us use his building for the American Lucha in Burlington, North Carolina. And just they were all just super helpful. Like it came together easier than any show, I'm sure. But the matches were amazing. Like matches that nobody else would book, crazy matches you'll never see again, that you've never seen before. Just it's definitely a show worth watching just because it's a great show, but also for the cause behind it. So go check that out on IWTV. It's Ducks Fly Together.
And on that show, you and Colby tag team together, and you wrestled the wrestling prodigies, Jackson,
Yep.
Drake, and Jay
Malachi. Yep.
Malachi.
They're
Yep.
yes, fantastic team, fantastic young piece of talent.
Why was they the right guys to wrestle in the main event of this show for you? And
Well, I mean, I think Colby and I can both relate to where they are now because we've been there. They're hot new upcomers. Like they're super talented, and they needed that showcase. It was almost like a different generations meeting, and the match itself was crazy pants bananas. So like, I mean, we threw out the rules. We used doors. We used chairs. We used just anything at our disposal. So it was a crazy match, and I think if you watch the quality of that match, it was definitely the right decision. Like say to have them wrestle us.
Oh, absolutely, and it's kind
Like
of it's great. You're doing this great charity thing for your friend, and you'll still have promoting new talent while you're doing it. That's just incredible to me.
It was something. I can't put it. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time verbalizing how special it was to us, not just to Lance, but also to me and Colby and to Mikey and just to everyone involved. That was just. I can't put it into words.
Absolutely, we'll move on to another topic. A little bit lightheartedness. Can you tell us about numducks?
Oh, the numducks. Oh, I assume this my match with is it Brandon Watley?
I believe so.
Okay, well, he has nunchucks, and I'm not a very good wrestler, so I try to think how could I be entertaining and what could I make the crowd react to, because they'll forget what I did, but they won't forget how I made them feel. So I got some nunchucks, and I stuck some rubber ducks to them, and I called them numducks. And I might have been the only one who laughed out of the 12 people in the crowd, but I thought it was funny, so it was worth it to me.
It seems like he didn't take too kindly to it.
Well, yeah, whatever. He's allowed to feel that way. He's also allowed to get over it. So.
No.
Again, it amused me, and I don't know what's more important than that. So, I mean, that's all that's necessary.
Oh, absolutely. And coming up on October 24th, I believe, you're wrestling Danhausen at a very nice, very evil evening with Danhausen.
Oh yes, October 23rd for Live Wire Wrestling in Augusta, Georgia.
Could you tell us how that came about and, wrestling Danhausen on a Danhausen event?
Well, I kind of just got to be a lucky duck on that one. I was contacted about the show because I wrestle for them periodically, and they asked me about the date. I was like, well, I have to check and I'll get back to you. They're like, well, we were thinking about having you wrestle Danhausen. And I was like, well, I will definitely go check that date right now. And I was available and it just worked out. And I'm very much looking forward to it because, again, I've been doing this a long, long time. And I still fly under the radar of most people. But my matches lately, I had a match with Anthony Green. I've had a huge match with Chip Day. The Ducks Fly Together match, me wrestling Colby Carino. I've got a match coming up against Trisha Dora. Very much looking forward to that one. I've got the match coming up against Danhausen. And I'm not going to lie. I need these matches to do something for me. I need these matches to propel me. I need to level up from here. That's what I plan to do. Because eyes are going to be on that match. People are going to be watching those matches. Therefore, people are going to be watching me. And if they don't know me, they will.
Speaking of leveling up, you wrestled Rip Bison at Limitless Wrestling. I believe it was double vision.
That I can't wait to go back to Limitless. That was such a fun place, such a great promotion. I'm excited to go back there as soon as possible.
I was going to ask you, that was your one and only match for Limitless.
So far.
Yeah, so when will we expect you back in a Limitless ring? And kind of how did it come about to, I mean, you wasn't just thrown on an episode of The Road. You were on one of their major paid previews against one of their top stars. So could you tell us kind of how that came about?
Well, Limitless, that first, they have such a great promotion. Like say, they're doing a great job up there, and I was just stoked to be a part of it. But we were actually booked for Limitless a couple of years ago, right before the pandemic. But Lance had gotten injured like the week before, so we weren't able to make it. So we just had to postpone it. And then I'm good friends with MSP, Danger Kid and Aggro.
Yep.
So or I guess he's just going by Danger now. So Danger and Aggro. But MSP, fantastic team. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, but they're great. Please look them up.
Yes.
But I'm real good friends with them. I love those guys, and that's one of their home promotions. And I had been in touch with the guy before, and it just happened to work out for that date. So we got it all figured out. I flew up there and, killed it with Rip Bison, and I just can't wait to be back. It's just a matter of schedules aligning, stuff like that. 'Cause, it's not cheap to fly me from South Carolina. So.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, from Ponds Unknown.
You just kayfabed yourself, didn't you?
Whoops.
Another big name you were in the ring with was Ricky Morton.
Yeah.
One of the biggest tag team names in pro wrestling. Can you tell us about that experience and what you kind of learned from him?
Now, I've known Ricky Morton for years and years and years, and I always learn from him. I'm always trying to just talk to him, pick his brain. But I've been in the ring with him a couple times, but I got to wrestle him one-on-one a couple years ago, or last year, I think it was. I got to wrestle him one-on-one, and it was just such a great experience, and he loved it. He gave me some helpful advice, told me he would do it again anytime, and he has. So we've been at shows before where he didn't feel comfortable with what was going on, so he just asked to turn it to a tag team match where I was supposed to wrestle Kerry, but instead it was me and this guy against Kerry and Ricky. So I got to wrestle Ricky and his son, stuff like that. It's just,
oh wow,
it's just cool. Yeah, I always enjoy being around him. I always enjoy talking to him and learning from him. So I would definitely love to wrestle him again at any point.
Maybe get a rock and roll versus Ugly Duckling match.
I don't know. Nobody's ever booked that for some reason. I think maybe I don't know. I'm not sure why, but it's never happened.
Or maybe
we had like a four-way tag team match with them, and we never touched with them. So I don't know.
Ooh, that's not fun. In there with Rock and Roll Express.
Right. Yeah, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, can you?
Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, I said maybe it's because we. Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I was okay. I just wasn't sure if it's like maybe because we're in a babyface underdog tag team and that's kind of their deal too. So maybe that's why nobody books it, or I'm not sure.
Well, maybe that we put it out in the universe now. Maybe it will happen.
Maybe.
Now, on your Twitter bio, it reads Ghostbusters, Pumpkin Pie, and Wrestling.
Yeah.
Can you tell us Ghostbusters and Pumpkin Pie?
Well, I mean that sounds pretty self-explanatory. What do you need to know? They're both amazing. They're both amazing things. Have you ever seen Ghostbusters or eaten pumpkin pie?
I have done both of those things.
Well, there you go. What more needs to be said?
There is
I
something.
rest my case.
What's the best pumpkin pie, though?
Oh, you mean like from where? Man, I don't know. I'm pretty impartial to that. I just like pumpkin pie.
Oh, so
I've
it's just,
I've never had any bad. I've never had bad pumpkin pie. How's that?
that's fair enough. And Ghostbusters
So
is,
whenever I do, I'll tweet at you.
is that just your favorite movie?
It's definitely one of my favorite movies. It's definitely up there ever since I was a kid. It's like Ghostbusters and Pulp Fiction for some reason.
Ooh, those are two really
But,
good movies.
Yes, but like people are like, "Oh, that's weird." It's like, yeah, no, I mean, like they've been my favorite since I was like 7. So it's like, well, that seems inappropriate, but okay. I don't know. Ghostbusters just I never get tired of it. Same. It's like I would probably say Ghostbusters, Pulp Fiction, and The Wedding Singer. Not in that particular order. Those are my favorite movies, probably, because I just don't get tired of them. They're one of those where if I turn on the TV and it happens to be on, oh, I'm gonna at least watch it for a couple minutes, then probably just get into it and finish it. So I don't tire of them.
Well, that's an interesting contrast of genres.
Oh
Ghostbusters,
yes.
The Wedding Singer, and Pulp Fiction. Is
Oh
it?
yeah, quite the juxtaposition. I'm sure. Very odd.
But no, those are three solid, movies.
Oh yeah, you should hear my musical taste now if you want to talk about eclectic.
Oh, well, I mean, you just brought it up, so let's get into it.
Oh.
You've been in the wrestling business for this. First and foremost, this is Coleco's Colossal Question, not featuring Coleco.
Coleco's Colossal Question, not featuring Coleco.
Yes.
Gotcha. Rolls off the tongue. Sparkling alliteration.
he's my other co-host that could not be here tonight. But
well, I'll pour a little out for him.
And now you've been in the wrestling business for a hot minute. One might say that it's worthy of a movie. You will be played by Leonardo DiCaprio. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first 3 songs on Rob Killjoy's wrestling career soundtrack?
Oh wow. Huh. Jeez. This is a difficult one.
It's the question that broke Colossal Mike Law.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and name some, but I'm also leaving these up for being able to be changed at any point because there's probably some that I forget.
We have had other guests, message me after an interview and say, "I'd like to change this one. I'd like to swap this one out." So you
actually, this is what I'm going to do because I think it'll be an adequate answer. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to name the 3 types of music that I would think. Okay, so because and that'll help give you like quite a that'll give you an idea of how eclectic my musical taste is. So it would definitely have to be some Slayer.
Ooh, okay.
My favorite band, Slayer. It would definitely have to be some oldies because I love oldies. Love oldies. It's my favorite. I when people they listen to music to get pumped up for something, or they listen to like heavy rap or heavy metal or something, oldies gets me pumped up, ready to wrestle. Puts me in that good mood. I also love Christmas music.
Ooh.
So yeah, so some Slayer, some oldies, some Christmas music. Throw in like a little Dickie, a little Biggie.
Ooh, Biggie.
Yeah, throw in
Okay.
a little Dickie. Yeah. Throw in some little Dickie and some Biggie. I mean, throw in some Bo Burnham. He's hilarious. There's but I mean some Cannibal Corpse. Listed some. Just Dr. Dre. I could go. It's just. My music taste is all over the place. Some Whitney Houston, love Whitney Houston. Some Mariah Carey. That should cover 3 songs, right?
I think that's a whole soundtrack right there, like a 3 CD soundtrack.
That's all over the place. That's all over the place.
But I'm curious, what you said Christmas music. What are you listening Christmas wise?
Love Christmas music. What am I listening Christmas wise?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, The Grinch, obviously. I also was it the Wham song, Last Christmas?
Yes.
I gave you my heart. The very next day, he gave it away. Yeah. This year, save me some tears. I'll give it to someone special. Yeah, you know the deal. Sorry, putting me on the spot. Now I'm just trying to think of things. Dolly Parton, Hard Candy Christmas. Dolly Parton, Hard Candy Christmas. That is that slaps, as the kids say. That song slaps. Was it the I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas by the what's the one from Home Alone? Is it by the Temptations?
Now you're putting me on the spot here.
Yeah. So see, now I'm just sorry. This is how it goes. It doesn't make for a very entertaining podcast for me to just ramble and speak like incoherently or just stream of consciousness.
Oh no,
So that's just what's happening now.
No, I feel like we're learning so much about Rob Killjoy just by you saying what songs you enjoy.
Right. See, so it's hard for me to pick certain songs. So I was like, let me give you genres, and that'll help you understand why it's so hard for me to narrow it down to songs.
And Kaliko would kill me if I didn't ask you, Biggie Smalls, what are you listening to from him?
Oh, well, if I had to pick one, probably be Juicy. 10 Crack Commandments.
All right.
Again, I could go on and on, but those are the ones that jump to my head. Yeah.
Well, I think we covered a lot in there. This is usually the part where I say lock it in. Would you like to lock it in? But I think
sure. What are we locking in?
That those are your 3 answers.
That could change. But remember, that could change at any point. You never know. I'm going to keep you on your toes.
My DMs are open. You know how to message me. Now, from one crazy thing to an even crazier thing,
Let's do it.
The clusterfuck battle royal.
The cluster duck. There's a cluster duck.
Cluster duck. My bad. You were in there with a lot of big names. Did you even know that they were in that match?
Some, maybe the ones before, maybe not so much the ones that were out before us, and maybe not the ones that were out after we were out. But I do remember some of them. I remember Crime Time just hanging out in the corner. I remember Necro Butcher just chilling there. Yeah. I remember Rich Swan coming in and running around on me for a little bit. That was a fun one.
And
but yeah, they were just I know we got to meet La Parka or LA Park. We got to meet Mantar. I got to meet Masato Tanaka. We got to meet Onita. No, I'm sorry. Otani. I'm sorry, not Onita. Otani. Sorry, I'm very tired, so I'm just mixing stuff up right now.
It's fine.
I don't know. We just got to meet like all sorts of cool people and just hang out with people that we met before and hung out with. So I walked up to the top locker room and Ricky Morton sitting up there. He's, "Oh, hey, Rob Killjoy." I was like, "Hey, Ricky Morton." He said, "What the hell are you doing all the way up here?" I said, "Well, you know that I see you every weekend in the Carolinas, so I came up to New Jersey to hang out with you too."
Sounds like it was a really great experience.
Yes, it was. It was definitely something. It was interesting for sure. For sure.
Now, a great segue. Somebody that was in that battle royal was the late great Tracy Smothers. We love Tracy.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep his legacy alive here. So, the acronym for Doug, do you know it?
Let me think. I know it. Let me see if I can remember it. Damn it! No. I'm blanking on it. I know it, and I'm blanking on it. Oh, geez.
Would you like me to tell you the acronym?
Go ahead and start, please. Yes.
T is for terrible, H is for hell, U is for ugly, and G is for jail.
D is for jail, because the thug can't spell.
Yes.
Sorry, I was like, I know this. I know what this is. And now I'm blanking on it. I've been lying the whole time. I'm not a wrestling fan at all. I've never watched it a day in my life. That's what everybody's going to think when they listen to this. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've just BS my way through it, and you fell for it.
You know, that question has tripped up the best of them, honestly. Like, on the spot.
Oh, no, but that's the thing. I've said that multiple times throughout my life because I find it so funny. But whenever you ask me, that's just not where my mind is. And I was just blanking. I'm like, T is for terrible. What is the rest? What is it? I know he can't spell at the end.
Hey, I would have accepted T is for terrible, something, G is for jail. We're not picky on the show.
Well, I am. I'm like, no, it's not good enough. This Hasselpfeffer's not hot enough. Go back and cook it right. So,
and a controversial subject: pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
Yes, I actually like pizza on my pineapple. So, but
interesting.
Yeah, I do like pineapple on pizza. And anybody who says otherwise, well, it's okay. You don't have to eat it. It's fine. It's not worth fighting over.
Oh, there's a couple people out there that it's definitely worth fighting for.
Well, those people need what's that word? Priorities.
What's your spirit Pokemon?
Well, I would think of a joke answer and name a Digimon or a Tamagotchi or something, but I can't think of a name for those right now. I'm not really into Pokemon. So I don't know. Squirtle? Or what's the duck? Wait, hold on. Psyduck, obviously. Psyduck. What am I doing?
There you go.
I'm an idiot. See? I'm new here. It's my first day. So when does this podcast start?
Well, surprise! It's already started.
What?
Oh no!
Oh no! That means, oh boy!
And the weirdest thing you'll ever be asked on a wrestling podcast: Would you?
Well, we'll see.
Would you ever consider wrestling a Rock? Not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual Rock.
Oh, I mean, I've probably had worse matches with actual people before, so absolutely. That Rock probably won't hurt me either.
Well, just for context, there's this guy named Psycho Mike that wrestled in actual rock for over 15 minutes in what was a Tungsten Man match, an Iron Man match that lasted for over 2 weeks.
Wow. The crowd was literally hanging themselves from the rafters.
He literally had a match in between the match with The Rock because it was 2 weeks. But he didn't beat it though.
He didn't beat The Rock.
He did not beat The Rock.
That's a shame.
Hey, the Rock was the champion. He didn't want to, do the job.
I understand. He politics his way out of it.
Yes. Now it is once again time for that segment, Rob Killjoy's Bizarre Adventure. You're a wrestler that goes up and down the road, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are about to happen. Can you tell us a road story that fits that description?
All right, let me try to think of one that would be PG.
I mean, it doesn't have to be PG. We're not,
Well, I'm not trying to incriminate myself or anyone else.
The innocent names will be protected.
Okay, let me try to think. I'm trying to think. Like, I've encountered just so many crazy people and crazy things that's just kind of par for the course for me. So nothing's jumping out to memory right now, besides like a car accident and stuff like that. Right. I'm not trying, like, not that I'm traumatized or anything. I'm just saying I'm trying to think of something a little more, a little lighter, a little funnier than that. Okay, well, sorry, I'm having a real hard time. I'm going to let you down on this one. I can't think of anything right now. I like, say, crazy stuff, like, say, just weird stuff like, Mikey sleeping, or, going to sleeping under the merch table, stuff like that, like when we get to a show, or us just running behind and running late, just trying to get our stuff together and our music's playing and we're not even dressed yet, stuff like that. Yeah, I'm having a hard time. I'm sorry. I should have been more prepared, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I was not prepared at all for this. I'm normally better at flying by the seat of my pants, my tail feathers, if you will.
Oh, believe me, we're not already on this show. We have a saying. If one thing doesn't go wrong, it's not us.
Correct. Like, I'm a big proponent of Murphy's Law.
Oh yes, and hey, it's another reason to bring you back on the show in the future. Get those bizarre
Absolutely.
adventures
I'll
out.
take some notes next time. I'll take some notes next time and write down some random thoughts. Okay. I've got one.
All right, here we go.
That not so much of a road story, but I told this story on Twitter last year or so, and it picked up quite a bit of traction. So one time, we were wrestling at this place in Forest City, North Carolina, and one of the roster members had been killed.
Oh.
And he was cremated. So they proceeded, because I guess this was his wish, his family proceeded to spread his ashes, like spread some of his ashes in the ring before the show.
Oh my God.
Now, when I say that they're spreading some of his ashes, I mean they are just dumping these little cups of gravel in the ring, gravel that used to be a dude. So we're wrestling on chunks of person.
Oh my God.
We are wrestling in this ring where they have put like his ashes, and not like a little speck here and there. It's like, no, they are literally like shoveling it out, like getting it close to the mat and pouring it out and stuff. So it's like, oh no, it's just in the ring. It's not like a little dusting. It's like little chunks of gravel that were a person in the ring while we are wrestling. Again, not really a road story, but something crazy that's happened.
Oh, that was definitely a bizarre adventure for sure.
Yes. So that's probably the weirdest thing ever. And
Uh,
I'm just like, is
yeah.
it? Is this? I was like, anybody gonna? Is this just me? Am I the only? Hello? It was so weird.
Now, can you either deny or confirm that they used the vacuum cleaner on the ring after the event?
I cannot. I cannot confirm nor deny. I don't know. I don't know if that ring was haunted after that. I think that's how you get wrestling spirits. That's how you get mat spirits right there. I don't know.
On a more serious note, what do you see yourself in 5 years?
Dead. I'm sorry. Yeah. Just still doing the same thing I'm doing pretty much. Hopefully, I'll be making more money and somewhere else. But I mean, if I never go further, I still love wrestling, so I'm not going to stop. If I keep in the same place I am now, that doesn't make me love wrestling any less. Do I want to get further and go bigger and make more money? Absolutely. But if I don't, will I stop? No. Do I have a plan where it's like, oh, if I don't make it somewhere by this point, I've got to? No, I don't have that. I'm going to wrestle until I am dead, until I am physically incapable of wrestling anymore.
All right. And
So
what?
I just, I again, I've been doing this since I was 17, and my life's essentially been the same. Like I've had different jobs, different relationships, different living situations, or whatever. I've been homeless before for wrestling, just whatever. But it's always been with the goal of wrestling, whatever I got to do so I can wrestle. And I don't foresee that changing.
All right. And what is a match people should go out of their way to see that best shows off what Rob Killjoy is all about?
Well, you could definitely go check out any of the Ugly Ducklings matches with the Jim Nasty Boys, any of the Ugly Ducklings matches with the Workhorsemen, Anthony Henry and JD Drake, which, spill a little beans, the Workhorsemen there's actually a big group of us. It's not just two. So we're all the Workhorsemen. But we, I guess, singles matches, man, there's some good ones out there, but upcoming, make sure to watch the ones with Danhausen. Make sure to watch the ones with Trish Adora. But you could look up my match with just Anthony Green. That match I really enjoyed that match. That was something to test myself. That's on a Title Match Network. You could look up my match with Saeed Al Sabah. That's on Title Match Network from Battle Club, their last show. You could look up my match with Chip Day from the last PWF show. You could look up my match with Colby Carino from the month before that. I mean, I feel lately I've been on I feel like I'm hitting my stride now. I feel like I'm on a different level than I have been before, and I need to show that. And that's why these matches, like, I'm not nervous for them. I'm excited for them. I know I'm ready for them. But I just need to show these other people who I am and what I could do. So my favorite match I've ever had, my next one, always the next one. The match that you want to watch to see what I could do, watch any and all of them, because you never know what I'm going to do, because I don't do the same things over and over again. I mix it up. I'm all over the place. You don't know what's coming. Stay tuned. Quack, quack.
And that's a fantastic answer. What do you think it was, maybe, what was in the water in 2021 that really made you kick into another gear?
The match in 2021?
No, I mean, what do you think what separated 2021, because you're having all these incredible, awesome matches?
I think it's just a matter of opportunity. I've always been the guy that they just throw in there to wrestle whoever. Or, hey, you can wrestle this guy who's only had 2 matches because you could get a good match out of him. But whenever I start getting the opportunity, oh, hey, they're going to put me in there with somebody who can go. Okay, watch this. Hey, they're going to put me in there with somebody that people know. Okay, watch this. I'm always motivated. I never phone it in. I never half-ass it. I never give anything less than 110%. One of the nicest things and coolest things I've ever seen written about me was a Rob Killjoy match never lacks effort. And that's I leave everything I got every single time out there. And I feel like after 17 years, that's why some people like my stuff. I wrestle to get over. And once I'm over, it's easier to stay over because I'm I never phone it in. I never give them less than everything I possibly can. And I feel that's what's got me. That's how I stay booked up. I'm a hard worker. I'm persistent. I try. I care. And with 2021, it's just, okay, you give me these opportunities, I'll crush it. I wasn't working any less hard for years now, but now some people are seeing it. So now, okay, well, now they want to book me to do this. Okay, now these people saw that, so they want to book me to do this. It's just getting out there, going further and further, what I've always done.
Hard work paying off.
That's what I'm hoping, is I'm starting to see some paying off now.
And we are nearing the conclusion of this interview. So we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is our bonus round, our speed round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready, Rob?
Uh-oh, I don't know if anybody's ready for this.
Well, too bad. The questions are coming.
Whoops.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
Greatest wrestler of all time? That I chalk that up to Eddie Guerrero or Shawn Michaels.
That's a pretty good too. Worst wrestler of all time.
Worst wrestler of all time? Well, I mean, I've probably wrestled him and put him over 3 or 4 times, I'm sure. Because my mind jumps to Ultimate Warrior, but I can't say he's the worst ever because at least he drew money. So, like, even though he's a homophobic and terrible piece of garbage.
I mean, I'll accept Ultimate Warrior. We've never actually had Ultimate Warrior said on the show before.
Yeah, it's like, but I mean, I've seen worse wrestlers just because, but you know, because at least he drew money. But I don't know if I've seen worse people. I mean, I'm sure I have, but you know. So let's just chalk it up. But again, if I think of somebody worse, I'll come back to that.
Your main event in WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
Living or dead?
Either one. We'll get the Ouija board out.
Abraham Lincoln. And preferably when he was already dead.
Okay. We've never had an actual wrestler not in the main event of WrestleMania. Could you maybe elaborate on that?
Well, I'm saying, like, I mean, you know, Abraham Lincoln used to be a wrestler. Look that up. All my projects in school were about wrestling. I know this.
Okay. If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
Well, the Ugly Ducklings entrance music, because it's amazing. Best entrance music of all time.
Fair enough, but let's say they lost the track, they can't play it for legal reasons. What's your second choice?
Ironically, and this is just to pop Coach Mikey, which I know he will not listen to this at all, but I'll just tell him about it. It's going to be the X Factor theme song for the X Factor with
Yes.
X-Pac, Just Incredible, and Albert.
Yes, I know.
The Uncle Cracker version, of course.
Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is.
Bullshit. Sorry. Let me reframe. Kayfabe is a phrase that people use even when they don't know what it means. Kayfabe is something that some people wouldn't understand if it slapped them in the face.
So, wait a minute. Kayfabe's a person?
Sure, can be. Kayfabe could be anything you want it to be.
Squash. Fruit or vegetable?
Squash sucks. I'll have neither.
Ooh, okay.
It's a vegetable and it's not good. And I like vegetables, but that's one I do not like.
It's actually a fruit, scientifically.
Oh, well. Well, it's a shitty vegetable.
Well, you might have not gotten the question correct, but
That's why it's not even a good vegetable, because it's not even good at being a vegetable. You can't even be a vegetable right.
well, you're in
And
good
zucchini's just green squash. It sucks too.
Well, you're in good graces with Kaliko Yachts. You're part of Squash Squad now, so that means a lot more. But his rendition of what a fruit is it has to be in fruit salad.
I don't know if I've even had a fruit salad, but I know, isn't tomato technically a fruit? And that always felt more vegetable-y to me. It always felt more vegetable-y.
It's because there's seeds in it.
But that's the thing. Green pepper has seeds in it. That's a vegetable.
Is it? Oh my
Yeah,
god!
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I don't know. I stopped listening to this when they made Pluto not a planet anymore.
Oh, that's a whole other story for a whole other podcast.
Right. So now, like, you can't tell me what fruit and vegetables are anymore.
New Japan wrestler Taichi, his ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question: what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
Well, it depends on whose trunks and whose butt cheeks. I got this thick trunk, so I would need some coverage.
All right.
So I mean, it depends. It depends on the character. It depends on the ass.
And the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know.
The $64,000 question.
Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
I have not about Darby Allin specifically. But to be fair, I hate most people, and I try to avoid conversation with them, especially random strangers in public. I don't want to talk to them, especially if they're not wearing masks. Just don't. And this was me before the pandemic. I wasn't trying to entertain, like, just go be your friend, some stranger in the grocery store, if you're not paying to watch me wrestle or buy a T-shirt from me. Yeah, it's like most people are very bad people, so I don't like the odds of meeting more people because they're probably going to be bad. So most people are dumb, and I'm not a fan of that, and I lack patience for it, and I haven't the time to deal with stupidity all the time, even though I'm forced to because I'm out in the world. So.
And that is the correct answer.
That's a great way to end a podcast. Hype me up to everybody about how much I hate people, right?
And that will conclude the coverage of this.
This is why you should give him money and watch him wrestle. He hates you, all of you, so much.
And that will conclude our interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me.
We did it. Where's the craziest place you've ever made whoopee? Hey.
No, that is not an actual question.
Whoops.
Well,
no, but I appreciate you having me. I was very funny. I was super entertaining. You had a great time, and you can't wait to do it again.
I absolutely cannot wait to do it again. But until then, can you tell us where we can find you on social media?
All right, like I said before, you can find us, the Ugly Ducklings, on Facebook. Look up at Three Mother Duckers on Twitter and Instagram. Or on Twitter, you can find me at I'm Rob Killjoy, at It's Coach Mikey, and at Colby Carino. And and then just check us out. Go to stormcustomtees.com. Buy that sweet, sweet Ugly Duckling merch. Give us some money. Wear some T-shirts. Follow us. Tell everybody we're your favorites. Pay money to watch us wrestle. Quack.
And you don't even need to drill it into your Google machine. All the links will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox. You've been listening to him for an hour. Buy a damn shirt.
Yeah, buy a damn shirt.
And if you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, but on YouTube and Castbox. This interview was, of course, sponsored by Rogue Energy. Use promo code WRESTLINGWITHE Join us next Wednesday as we interview Crash Jackson. The week after that, Megan Mason.
All right, tell Crash Jackson I said butt stuff. He'll know what it means.
I will absolutely do that. And
Well, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate you.
absolutely. And you can follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at Wrestling with E. You can follow us individually as well. I am at JamesJ993. I am Kaliko is Kaliko, and Scooter Dust is at Scooter Dust. When I say wrestling with, you say entertainment. Okay, Rob?
Yes, sir.
For our very special guest, Rob Killjoy, Kaliko Yacht, Scooter.
Entertainment. Oh, I went too early, didn't I?
Yeah.
Sorry, I went too early.
You're fine, we're fine, but let's rewind. You're throwing off my feng shui, damn it.
Good. Well, thank you for being a guest on my podcast, or as I call it, a podcast.
The podcast. Yes, this. Wait a minute, I was on your podcast? What? Is this Inception or something?
That's exactly what it is. It's contraception.
For our very special guest, Rob Killjoy, Kaliko Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with
Entertainment. Quack.
Quack.
Hey guys, this is Brutal Bob Evans from Hangs with Bob Seminars and TheWrestleLife.com, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.